Standing in the bustling streets of Manila is a relatively peaceful area. A park full of luscious greenery, a place full of serenity, and an area that's a former cemetery?
Paco Park is a former cemetery turned park in the district of Paco in Manila. It was built in 1822 as the local cemetery for those living in the walled city of Intramuros. The three martyr priests, Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora, are also resting here after their execution from the hands of the Spanish.
Di ba talaga tayo minalas at siging pagbayan?
Rizal was secretly interred inside the cemetery, with his grave marked as RPJ instead of his true initials JPR, to make his grave's identity secret.
This is where all of the, we can say that non-nobles are buried, especially those who are considered that are lower in the classes. So, essentially, dito nililibing yung mga hindi nobles or hindi mga matataas yung posisyon. Walang government position, walang masyadong significant background in Spanish society. Dito sila sa labas, essentially. Especially the Chinese, kasi they don't consider Chinese as high as whites. Well, again, racism and that kind of class division is prevalent. Anyways, that's basically it. So, it's quite amazing now we are experiencing these kinds of things. Kasi, you know, it's very rare that we can visit such historical places. And again, the feeling is very different. Not only because it's a cemetery and the park at the same time, but this is also a, you know, such vision to, or such a witness to historical events na nangyari dito. Look at those. I think those are cannon shells. Some of it are bullet shells, perhaps during the Second World War, First World War did not happen. All of you naman natin. So yeah, that's basically it. So we're gonna find more, hopefully, and it's...
The outside wall also features a sitio de los Infantes y Osario, a dedicated place to bury children.
Well, let me ask you a question. Are you hungry? Oh boy, do I just have the place for you. Binondo. Binondo, or Chinatown, is an area in Manila that historically is the trading center and home for mostly Chinese residents residing in the Philippines. It is established back in the 1500s and is placed on the other bank of the Pasig River relative to Intramuros so that the colonial government or the Spanish could keep an eye on their Chinese immigrants. Now, Binondo is a huge center of commerce and it's also a large tourist destination. Famous places include the San Lorenzo Plaza, the Binondo Church, the lovely Chinatown Mall, and other areas. But today, we'll focus on Binondo food. Food is a big part of both Filipino and Chinese cultures. First stop would be JB Tan's Siopaw Corner, located at Benavides Street. They have a bunch of food from siomai, hopia, tikoy, dumplings. But today, we'll focus on their specialty, which is fried siopaw. The siopaw was good and was actually very meaty, although I don't know or have any idea what meat it is. But anyway, the taste was balanced, it was well prepared, it was well seasoned. Although I might admit that there is some kind of acquired taste into it, some kind of kick or a hint of sourness. But it was actually very good. Just up ahead, JB Tan's Siopaw Corner would be our next stop, which is Masuki Mami House. Masuki was established back in 1930 by their founder Ma Monluk from China. He sold chicken soup as his means of living and took off. So now it's a very famous noodle chain in Manila. Masuki serves its mommy still in its original recipe. Speaking of the mummy was surprisingly bland. Well, that's until you put the secret ingredient, which was the sauce. With that, the mummy actually lights up with flavor. The reason, perhaps, why they separate the sauce from the actual broth is because you can control the strength. But, anyways, the mummy was actually very good. Well, for our dessert, we will head back to Ongpin to Lord's Toast Bakery. Known for its delicious egg tarts, the company started its life in Macau and now has branches in Southeast Asia. But for today, again, we'll try their signature egg tarts. They come in different box sizes or you can actually buy them individually at around 60 pesos each. The tart was hot and crispy, while the filling resembles a silky flan that's slightly sweet and tasty. For the overall, Binondo's rich food and culture is one of many favors and tasty endeavors. If you're gonna visit Manila, well, Binondo is a must to visit, especially with their food. For now though, let's head back to Manila to explore other amazing sites. We'll start our walk-around journey in the Bonifacio Shrine, where you'll find a piece of the Berlin Wall. The wall is a significant piece of history as it was a physical reminder of the separation between not only two sides of Berlin, but also between two worlds of different dynamics during the Cold War. Near it is a wall of names to commemorate the victims of martial law, with more or less 1,000 names written on it. After walking for several minutes, just past LRT1 Center Station, emerged the Arroceros Nature Reserve. Regarded as the lungs of Manila, the Arroceros Park is one of the very few forest trees inside the National Capital Region. In front of it is the Manila Metropolitan Theater. It is a theater that predates the war period and it was rebuilt after sustaining war-related damage. Today though, it's owned and operated by the Philippine government and is still conducting shows. Check their Facebook page to see if they got any scheduled shows. Crossing the chaotic transport hub of Plaza Loton comes to view the Manila Central Post Office building. Built in the 1920s, this neoclassical building is the home of tons of letters and mail from all around the country. It had survived the war, though unfortunately was damaged again after a structural fire that was never controlled after almost a day of burning inside the building. Currently though, they have a plan to renovate the building, which is a good news. Behind the post office is the newly opened Pasig River Esplanade. This beautiful walkway stretches the Pasig River from the similarly iconic Jones Bridge that connects Binondo to Manila to the MacArthur Bridge, which connects Santa Cruz to Manila. Next, we'll try the Pasig River Ferry service. Or maybe not. So we took the Escolta walkway. This walkway stretches almost the same length as the esplanade, just from the other side of the river, and is home to many plants, and it gives a beautiful view of the city skyline. And with that, from the beautiful food to the beautiful skyline, we end our journey around Binondo and the walk around of Manila. See you later in the street.
Next up sa ko. Okay, blip yan, blip yan, blip.
Intramuros are also known as the Walled City, where it is one of the oldest districts of Manila, which was built on the south bank of the Pasig River around 1571. Colegio de Santa Rosa, or formerly known as University of Santo Tomas during its early years, which holds a significant place in the history of education in the Philippines, which was founded in 1750 by the Dominican friars. The Manila Cathedral, or formerly known as the Cathedral Basilica of the Immaculate Conception, where it is one of the most iconic landmarks in the Philippines. Its history is deeply intertwined with the country's religious and colonial past. The Palacio del Gobernador, or the Palace of the Governor in its English term, where it is the former home of the Governor General during the colonization of the Spaniards in our country, which is the Philippines. At present, it is the building where government offices like Intramuros Administration and Commission on Elections are located.
1, 2, 3.
Rizal Park, Luneta, formerly known as Bagumbayan during the time where the national hero was shot to death, making this destination the birthplace of Philippine nationalism. The heroism of 13 Filipino patriots lies within the Japanese garden in the Trece Martires de Bagumbayan marker, to remember the 13 patriots who were arrested after the cry of Pugad Lawin on charges of treason and sedition. The garden was an achieved request to then Prime Minister of Japan, Eisaku Sato, to donate to have a garden that represents nature through Japanese-inspired scenery. Built in 1966 to 1967, the garden houses a life-size monument of Confucius made up of granite that showcases the importance of Confucian values. Inside the garden also has a walkway with Chinese proverbs written as you travel along the way. The garden was a donation to show gratitude to China's support to build their very own Rizal Monument in Jinjiang City of Fujian Province. One of the most historical locations inside the Rizal Park that piqued one's curiosity of the Philippine history is that marker that stood on the very same place where the three Filipino priests that started the long-awaited revolution against the colonizers, Jose Burgos, Mariano Gomez, and Jacinto Zamora, or also known as Gomburza, was exiled on February 18, 1872. The Rizal Park was named to commemorate the fallen hero that widely contributed and influenced the Philippines' freedom from the Spaniards, Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Rialonda. The monument was built on the same exact place where he was executed. The United States Philippine Commission signed the Act Number 243 that approved this monument on September 28, 1901. And on Rizal's 17-year death anniversary, the park was formally changed to Rizal Park.